Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Today we are diving in with another look at some exclusive battle footage from In the Name of Jerusalem 2, a mod set in the late 12th century, focusing all the way up until the fall of Constantinople. This mod is definitely one of the higher up ones on my radar and one I've been following pretty goddamn closely. They have recently just gone ahead and upgraded all of their assets, the campaign map, the units, etc, to the latest version of Bannerlord, and as you can see, they are making some really good progress. At the moment, they are focusing on one of the things we're looking at right now, that is the battle terrain kind of campaign mesh. If you guys don't know, in Bannerlord, currently whenever you'll fight somewhere on the campaign map, the battle maps are going to try and mirror that as much as possible. Obviously, that is something that is extremely hard to do in a mod because you're changing and adding so much in. However, In the Name of Jerusalem 2 are planning on trying to create that. So, for example, they are fighting on one of the Byzantine Roman roads, and that is shown in the actual battle map itself. You can go ahead and see that, and they're planning on doing this for the entirety of the campaign map that is looking to stretch from Bulgaria all the way down into Iraq and of course Egypt. So that should hopefully make for some really unique maps. And in today's video, we'll be taking a look at both this Crusader battle as two forces from the east collide, and then we're going to be taking a look at the Seljuk battles, and you can see the battle terrain for both of them is very, very vast. Right now, we've currently got one of the Crusading Knights is kind of going ahead and picking off some of the skirmishes from the eastern forces and doing a pretty good job of that, and then of course charging in with the heavy cavalry. I did actually get a chance to play a very early version of this mod, including the campaign map as well as battles, and it was a lot of fun. The heavy infantry really mattered a lot in these engagements, and heavy cavalry was just absolutely brutal. However, that was like 6-7 months ago, and since then they've of course upgraded Bannerlord to their version of the mod to the latest version of Bannerlord, which is going to go a long way. The amount of improvements the actual base game has received is very, very impressive. And even in these battle engagements, you'll see a few interesting things, like there's lance breaking in this, which is very cool. There's tons of different weaponry, which is, of course, all new, as well as armor, as well as unit trees and other beautiful stuff. Right now, we have now been dismounted, and we are fighting a bit on foot, even though the battle has, of course, taken a turn in favor of the Crusaders, as you can tell by the bar up the top. And we're doing a pretty good job at just kind of picking these soldiers off, even though he's being a bit overwhelmed, able to kind of push back the enemy. And I think these engagements are going to be really exciting, picking the type of units you want to go ahead and mess around with and moving in. Each faction is of course going to have its specialty, whether it's numbers like infantry, heavy cavalry. You're going to really be able to see this distinction in the actual factions themselves. And kind of couple that with the really nice looking maps is going to be very impressive. Now, do keep in mind that even though they have been able to bring a lot of their assets, or all of their assets, into the latest version of Bannerlord with all them amazing improvements to performance and just quality of the game, it's still going to take them a while, of course, because the campaign map, if they're planning on trying to get these kind of custom maps for all the campaign map, which is a very, very large scale campaign, it's going to take them a while to go ahead and create these, but they're making really good progress, which is, yeah, super exciting to see. And now you can just see the knights absolutely tearing apart the enemy, and also some more of the derelict Roman roads right there. That the battle has now been won, and again, you get a little bit more of a close-up of the type of kind of systems they're going in with the actual map themselves. The armor, a nice little close-up of the armor as well for the crusading forces, and that is literally just a little taste of that. Now we kind of take a completely different look, and we are now diving in and playing as the Seljuks. You can immediately tell the differences in the terrain types right here. We went from like a kind of a very rocky, deserty lands to more of a grassland, mountainous area, some flatlands, mountains kind of covering both sides, and of course the armor. The armor is completely different compared to the Crusaders, so a real nice kind of difference in the type of units you're going to be playing as. The Seljuks, of course, are focused much more on that maneuverable, lighter cavalry and less on the heavier infantry. The Crusaders, of course, are going to be focused on heavy cavalry, but again, they're going to be having some really, really high quality infantry as well, which are going to be able to really get stuck in and fight hard. Whereas, as you can see, the Seljuks have a lot of much lighter cavalry, which are able to kind of harass the enemy, fire in their bows, and then kind of quickly withdraw quite nicely. in the battle. Right here, you can see a nice little glimpse of the battlefield, which looks very, very good. The scale of them is awesome as well. I mean, you can really try and push the actual battle sizes as well. And a nice little look at some of the heavier Seljuk cavalry as they just quickly dispatch some of the enemy forces that have wedged themselves in a very, very unfavorable position. Now we find ourselves charging down into battle, going able to kind of take out a few of the horses and then quite quickly wrap around. Again, you'll immediately see in this battle as well the type of playstyle the Seljuks will be playing. That very mobile cavalry, looking to kind of knock out the enemy missiles very effectively. You can also just about see as well the bow on his side as well. That is obviously a custom kind of setup. You can see it kind of jumping around right there in his little pouch on the side to go ahead and fit that much more kind of mobile horse archer play style. And again, the infantry aren't going to be holding up as crazy as, say, the Crusader faction, which we already looked at, but the cavalry is going to be able just to quickly dispatch a lot of these archers. You can see the lance going in, and I believe in this battle you will actually see the lance break as well, so the tip of the lance will be broken off and the player will be stuck with a spear that basically does a lot less damage, which I think again is a real nice unique kind of style. And there you go, boom, the lance has now broken. I mean, still being hit with this whatever speed the horse is going would definitely be enough to knock someone out. But obviously the player will have to go ahead and pull out his secondary now, his sidearm, that sword, because yeah, I guess you can't actually use the spear anymore, which again is a real nice kind of system. You can also see as well the horse is doing a lot of damage on that charge. I think that's something that vanilla Bannerlord definitely does let us down on. You want to, when you hit into someone at full speed on a horse, you want to be able to send them flying and kind of get that impact that heavy cavalry does require, and you definitely do see that. The horse armor is looking really good, and again, here we go, the horse archers are set up behind the enemy lines once again, ready to get that final charge off into the enemy ranks. So now the rest of the battle is just going to be playing out as the Seljuks kind of quite cleanly clear up what remains of the enemy forces. But hopefully this video has gone ahead and given you a good glimpse of the current kind of status, I guess, of the mod itself. As I said, the campaign map is very much all up to date now with the latest version of Bannerlord, which is very exciting, and they're really focusing in on creating this tile map so that wherever you fight in the campaign map is going to be represented in these battles. And as I said, I think there's only a few other mods actually do that currently in the game, because it's a very hard thing to do. There's a lot of maps to go in and create, lots of custom architecture, etc. Hopefully we will go ahead and get some glimpses of some cool cities as well. That's something as well I'd love to see in this mod, is more medieval-esque cities, more flair added to them, because just small stuff like that really does take you out of the kind of the mod you're playing if it doesn't have that stuff. So hopefully we'll see at least a couple before on the first release. And of course, if you guys haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'll be one of the first people to let you guys know when this is coming out with a alpha, beta, whatever they're planning on doing, whether it's a full release or whatever. And hopefully I'll go ahead and get a kind of a version of the mod at some point in the future as well. Last time they were very kind to go ahead and give me a very early glimpse of the mod itself, so we could go ahead and kind of keep up to date with the current version of the mod. And I'd love to go ahead and get another one of those when the mod is closer and closer to release. So I'll be sure to go ahead and bring you guys that later on. And yeah, make sure you go and drop a like and a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the mod down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.